AFC South, the Colts, the overwhelming favorites at -140. Even though the Titans were the 1 seed last year, they are 2-1 to win the division. Colts have Matt Ryan, who just kind of fell out of the sky into their laps at the time when they didn't know who the quarterback was going to be. And look at the poor Texans at 28-1. So we predict the finish of the 4 teams in the AFC South. And Charean, we probably can just push right past 4 and really 3. I think we can stipulate it's Texans 4 and Jaguars 3. If you disagree, you have the floor, but I can't imagine any other reasonable scenario that wouldn't have preseason Texans 4th place, Jaguars 3rd place.
Well, the 4th place is harder for me, I know, than it is for you, and I am going to pick the Texans, but the difference between these 2 teams last season, between having the 2nd pick and whatever they 3rd, was the 2 games they played against each other. And the Texans won both of those games, and they finished 4-12, and the Jaguars were 3-14 because they lost those 2 games. So they got to beat the Texans. I do think the Jaguars are going to be better because of the coaching. I mean, it couldn't be any worse than what it was last season, but you now have a Super Bowl winning coach there. I don't see this as a team that's going to do a whole lot better than they did. The Jaguars I'm talking about the last 4 seasons, they'll be slightly better. 2019, they were 6-10. I would think they're going to be somewhere in that 6-7 win range. So I will pick the Jaguars 3rd, but I'm going to be interested how these 2 teams do head-to-head. When you think about the Texans, Mike, 2019, it was only 2019. They were killing the Chiefs in the first quarter of the postseason, and now look at where they are now, having to rebuild after Bill O'Brien just destroyed that roster. I mean, you shouldn't be allowed to buy the groceries and cook the meal too.
24-0, and it should have been 28-0. Remember, they had a chance to make it a 4th touchdown, which could have been insurmountable. But then again, the Chiefs exploded for over 50 points, so maybe it wouldn't have mattered if it had been a touchdown or a field goal in that spot. And it wasn't that long ago the Jaguars were on the brink of a Super Bowl. They were up 10 and should have been up 17 over the Patriots in 2017 in the AFC Championship. But we're on the same page, and I agree with you. The Jaguars are going to have to beat the Texans. I just think they have the better team. They have the better coach. And last year, obviously, they had one of the worst coaches we've ever seen in the NFL. Thank God Urban Meyer is gone. 2nd place, I've got to go with the Titans. And this is a great case study of how external perceptions, and maybe it's deserved, but think about what the Titans did last year. They're the 1 seed. Yeah. They lose a heartbreaker in the divisional round that they easily could have won. And they are regarded as a team that won't win their division, that may struggle to even make the playoffs. I put them at number 8 in the power rankings, and people are like, are you crazy? That's way too high. The Bills weren't the 1 seed last year. They have a heartbreaking loss on the road in the divisional round, so they weren't even the 2 seed either. They had to go play Kansas City. They have the heartbreaking loss. They don't get to the AFC Championship, just like the Titans. And the Bills are the team everybody expects to win the Super Bowl. I mean, between the expectations, Titans versus Bills, I want the bar where it is for the Titans. Mike Vrabel's got to be happy with that. Nobody's expecting anything out of the Titans this year, and I don't know what to expect out of the Titans, and I don't like the fact that they traded A.J. Brown. I don't like the pressure that's put on Treylon Burks to come in right away and be number 1 receiver or close to it. Maybe Robert Woods can get it done. Can Derrick Henry stay healthy? What's Ryan Tannehill have left? Does Malik Willis undermine him? But it's not causing me to believe they're going to win the division again, because I think the Colts have done enough to surpass them. But if I'm the Titans, I'm feeling pretty good about the fact that no one believes in me.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Mike. I think it's the Titans are going to finish 2nd, and I don't have them making the postseason. They have 3 consecutive postseason appearances, and the last time they had a losing record was 2015. This seems to be a team that's always consistently right there, and I think it's a lack of faith in my Aggie quarterback, which I have it too, in Ryan Tannehill. After what he did in the postseason, it's just hard to believe that this is a team that's going to be able to do what they've done the last 3 seasons and make the postseason. And maybe he'll rebound. Maybe he wins comeback player of the year from sucking again, Mike. We've seen that before from him. But I think Derrick Henry is going to win comeback player of the year. I think he's going to be very good, and that gives the Titans a chance, of course, if they can run the ball, win the time possession, play some good defense. But yeah, when I compare these two rosters, I just like the Colts better now that they have a quarterback who's not going to make those game-breaking, back-breaking mistakes and give you a chance to win.
I love Comeback Player of the Year because it literally can be coming back from anything. Whatever you want to say, however you want to interpret it, coming back from whatever, Comeback Player of the Year. Colts at number one. Look, when you consider how it ended last year, Week 18, all they have to do is beat the Jaguars, who were literally just punching the clock on their way out the door. The Jaguars beat the Colts when the Colts only needed that victory to get to the postseason. I think Jim Irsay was ready to fire Frank Reich. I think Chris Ballard talked him out of it. I don't know that. But something has to explain why Jim Irsay didn't do what I thought he was going to do. I mean, they threw Carson Wentz aggressively overboard the first chance they could get. Reich is the guy who brought him there. I think Reich has got to be feeling a little heat, but they got the ultimate reprieve in Matt Ryan, and Matt Ryan's already changing the culture there. He's holding guys accountable. He's getting in guys' faces, and this is just a perfect rebirth for him. You know, people say Tom Brady went to Tampa, won a Super Bowl in his first year with a new team. Then last year, Matthew Stafford goes to L.A., wins a Super Bowl. Will Russell Wilson do it with the Broncos? Hell no. Could Matt Ryan do it with the Colts? Hell yes. He could be the third one to pull it off. And the Colts could have a great year. Now, the AFC, not going to be an easy path of teams to navigate, but I think the Colts win the division, and maybe they fatten their record up enough that the road to Phoenix goes through Indianapolis, which gives you a little bit of an edge when it's time to face those great AFC teams.
Mike, you said something, and I hadn't really thought about it until you said it. And that Week 18 game against the Jaguars, if they had won that game and gone to the postseason, Carson Wentz would probably still be their quarterback, no matter how they did in the postseason, because Frank Reich loved him so much. And you're not going to fire Frank Reich if they go to the postseason. So they would still probably have Carson Wentz as their quarterback. So you can look at this and say maybe that's the best thing that could have possibly happened to them, because they had last year more Pro Bowlers than any other team in the NFL. All they needed was their quarterback to play kind of sort of well. And Matt Ryan's going to do that. And so this is a team I think has a chance in the AFC, Mike.
I said exactly what you just said to me to Chris Ballard, the GM of the Colts, right after the draft, and he was awesome. You can find the video on our NFL on NBC YouTube page somewhere. Just search for it. But he said, "No, I don't think I would agree with you there. I don't think I would go that far." So I think they were getting rid of Wentz, win or lose. Now, if they get into the playoffs and start winning games, then maybe you feel differently about Wentz. But I think they knew what they had or didn't have in Wentz, and it was proven out by the fact that they couldn't beat the Jaguars when all they needed to do was win that game and get to the playoffs. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.